really inspiring to hear of somebody with a message that's so simple and an agenda of just pure love and showing children that kindness and warmth that we all need to really grow into strong people. I think that's the most important part of her message, and that was what was so inspiring about her, was that something so simple can do something so powerful.
Something as simple as love, it's something that can be applied to like people in communities everywhere. Like that can be applied to here and the different conflicts that people are facing here.
I was really inspired by Father Rick.
Father Rick was inspiring because when he was talking about being a leader, he said that he does everything that everyone else does. He picks up dead bodies from the street. And
the fact that he took on the role of becoming a physician as well as a priest is something that I found to be very inspiring.
Brother Stan being so courageous and just listening to God's calling for him, and even though he was afraid, he just had the courage to keep going on to what he had to do.
This is the second time that I've heard Commissioner Baker speak, and I think especially him being his story and his calling and how he's gotten to the point where he is today.
Commissioner Baker just has such a passion for everything that he does, and even though he didn't know where he was going when he was 20 years old, he just kept going and finally found his calling, and that's just really inspiring.
Well, I was very fortunate to hear Aisha Shana this morning. She talked at length about her work working with unwed mothers and kind of single mothers in Morocco.
Our kind speaker really demonstrated that passion is incredibly important to understanding the world around you and understanding that there are marginalized communities.
Well, I just thought it was interesting how dedicated she was to kind of helping this specific group of people despite everyone else in her society almost shunning them in a way.
The fact that she is giving them names, and not only names, but the skills required to actively participate in a larger community is, all that's inspired by her passion for, the fellow human being.
I just think how passionate they are about the subject, like how he was almost jumping up and down, with how excited he was, and that just rubs off on you. When you're sitting there, it's you want to find what makes you that passionate.
Sometimes it seems like a lot of the actions that they take are kind of idealistic, and it's really hard to actually affect that kind of change in the world. But after hearing them speak, I feel like it's definitely something that's possible if you are willing to put your mind to it and put your efforts forth.
Sometimes people overlook that and they think that issues are way more complicated than they have to be when there are really simple solutions to solving some things.
I don't know if I could do something as big as go to another country and start some organization, but to just start educating patients that I would have in my own community and in the hospitals that I would work in, just educating them on their health.
I think it's important to think about, in the health profession, being in America, understanding how other countries affect this country and how public health throughout the world is important even for us.
I think it kind of shows how important it is to be aware of not just kind of social issues domestically, but it's kind of important to elsewhere, because they aren't sometimes they even have basic rights that we kind of take for granted here, so kind of just an eye-opening experience in that regard.
There's so many opportunities for the Marquette population in the surrounding Milwaukee area. There are certainly communities that surround our campus filled with marginalized people. I think if there's an opportunity for Marquette students to extend themselves outside of this campus and just engage in conversation with those who they would be blind to.
Which kind of take a page out of a lot of these people's book and even just help a little bit from just forms of service around Milwaukee, because there's a lot of places you can use help right now, nearby, rather than necessarily as big of a scope as they've used. So even just kind of the small things kind of add up to a lot.
Actually being able to have these speakers come in, I've become so aware that now I can kind of go and tell people about it, and if you can affect one person and kind of inspire them to do something, then that's kind of like a ripple effect and a domino effect. You're going to go out and you're going to help other people, and so I think that's a really big aspect of Marquette being a Jesuit education.
The issues that they're working on are extremely disparate, are very different from each other, but at the same time, the central thing that really ties them all together is, really kind of caring for the whole person, cura personalis. I think it really shows that if you can do that, there are incredible things that you can do, and it doesn't just have to take place at Marquette or in Milwaukee. It can take place across the world.
Educating the person and as a whole, both spiritually and academically, will really help you in your life.
Marquette's about being difference, and I mean, he went to Africa and he did something totally different. Like he said, he graduated college and he was scared to go. You can do amazing things when you're out of your comfort zone. And here at Marquette, you know, we're all about that.
Basically, just taking that leap of faith really it seems to be the most important part. Being able to take that and be that men or women for others.
I think one of the most exciting things about being at a university, especially one that's as dynamic and as worldly as Marquette, is being able to hear from these folks. You know, when else in my life I'm going to sit down with people who are doing incredible things all over the world.
The fact that this particular event is happening, I think it's extraordinarily indicative of Marquette as an institution of not just education but as personal development. I think certainly Mission Week is, you know, a testament to that.